Sudhir, I didn't write it all the way down, Sudhir Gautam. Woohoo!
It was August 2000, and I just arrived at Atlanta International Airport. I had taken my first flight ever in my life to come from India to the US to start my new job. I remember waiting for my bags at the airport, and I was nervous and sweating, and I missed my mom already. It didn't help that I was overdressed in 3 layers because my friends in India had told me that Atlanta is going to be freezing cold in the month of August. So I got picked up by one Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao was the office manager at the company, and he was an Indian man in his late 50s, and he had a thick mustache and an even thicker Indian accent, just like I did. So Mr. Rao picks me up and takes me to the company guest house. The first few days are all about getting over the jet lag, doing some paperwork and all that. Now, day 3 comes around, and Mr. Rao gathers all 6 of us in the guest house. We are all kids in mid-20s. And Mr. Rao announces that we are all gonna go out that night. So we all get excited, put our best clothes on, put some hair gel on, and we all put that strong immigrant perfume on, and we all head to downtown Atlanta. So we get to this big warehouse looking building, and it has a sign outside that says cheetah. Wow, Mr. Rao, are we going to the zoo in the night? I've never done that before. You'll see in a minute, boys. Get your IDs out. So as soon as we enter the building, I hear loud music coming from the building. And all of a sudden, I see naked ladies dancing upside down on poles. Like, wow, Mr. Rao, what a surprise. So we go inside, we get a table, we sit down, and I'm super nervous. I'm sweating once again. I miss my mom. I basically feel like a fish out of water, but at a strip club. So about 10 minutes go by, and I see this tall, like 7-foot tall, blonde man with a ponytail. And he's talking to the girls who are dancing on the stage. He turns his head around. I look at his face, and I go, Kevin Nash. That's the famous wrestler I used to watch on TV in India. He was one of my favorites. What a surprise. Now, when I screamed that, there were about 6 cowboys sitting right next to our table. They all got startled, and one of them spilled beer, and he started yelling and cursing at us. I go to the restroom, I come back, and Mr. Rao has literally pulled some strings by now, because there is a naked lady dancing on top of our table. Her name was Destiny. Now, Destiny looked so exotic that if she did a 23andMe test today, the genetic report would look like a Jackson Pollock painting. So about 10-15 minutes go by, and one of the cowboys spills beer on one of our guys trying to pick a fight. Next thing you know, it is pandemonium. It's looking like the super aggressive version of the Cowboys and Indians game. There's yelling and cursing going on in all directions in 5 different languages and 6 different accents. Destiny is still dancing on the table, but she's also yelling at everybody. I mean, it is quite a scene. Next thing you know, the bouncers get called, and unfortunately, our cowboy friends get thrown out of the club. We have fun. As we are leaving, Destiny comes up to us and says, I'm sorry what happened tonight. Hope you guys will come back and see me. And she hands me her business card. We go to the guest house later that night. As I'm laying in bed, trying to go to sleep, I'm reflecting on my first few days in the US. It's only day 3. I've already had my first night out. I've had my first trip to a strip club. I've had my first celebrity sparring. I've had my first bar fight. And I've had my first crush on a stripper. As I'm slowly dozing off, I still miss my mom. And I'm thinking, I could get used to this. Thank you very much.
Woo! All right. Oh my gosh. Sudhir Gautam.